In my Bitcoin analysis from yesterday, the video covered evidence that Bitcoin could make a strong move down this month, but also that there are strong evidence that take a big move up. Therefore, I gave you specific indicators and levels to watch out for in case one of the other were to happen so you could be nimble on your feet. Therefore, because of the distance of the purple line away from this origin line, it does indicate that there is a decent chance of a bounce. Now that it's pretty apparent, we got the bounce and it all happened pretty much on a 3-minute candle, perhaps a 15-minute candle. Most of this move happened in 15 minutes. So now that we've seen an aggressive move up, let's try to figure out, okay, when might this start slowing down and turning around? Are you ready? Let's go. We're going to layer on 3 different things within today's analysis to figure out where this is going to start slowing down. First, we're going to take a look at the macro range. Second, we're going to take a look at the monthly 10 EMA, which is hovering right under 44K. And then also, we're going to take a look at the trading channel, which Bitcoin has been in since October of last year. Those are the 3 things, and they're all going to layer on top of each other and essentially give about the same price points. Therefore, I think with this analysis, we should have a pretty solid understanding where price is going to go before it decides to turn around and make a lower high. I don't think that this run is quite over yet now that the momentum is really far to the upside. This trading channel here would indicate that this move might not have legs much more past about a $300 move up, maybe a wick past. This is kind of saying it's about over. However, I have the idea that and so that's the resistance point. It's saying it's pretty much done now, right? But in the end, though, I'm not convinced by that. There's even stronger evidence, and again, I'm not taking this position. I don't think this run's over yet, so I'm not going to try to play both ways and say, no matter what happens, I'm right? So but there is heavy resistance here. It could be, but this would not be my specific guess, since a lot of the viewers want me to say what my opinion is. Okay, I'll start giving you my opinion more, but I'm still going to help make you aware of when you can tell that my opinion is going to be wrong, right? It's just one person's opinion. Plus, you have the 4-hour 200 EMA here. That has been resistance since last year. I mean, this is November. Hasn't been above since November. The only wick above, it crashed down right after. I have a feeling that's not what's getting ready to happen, even though this trading channel plus this combined, it does say it might do that. However, that would not be the one position that I tried to bet on, okay? I want to be very clear. However, there is strong reason that it could do that, but that would not be my singular guess. Okay, let's take off that 4-hour 200 EMA, keep the trading channel on. The reason I don't think that 4-hour 200 EMA and this trading channel, which has gotten things perfectly since the 69K top, right? I mean, it hasn't gone above. I mean, since November. I think it will go above because if you layer on the macro range here, it looks like it wants to come up and hit at minimum the bottom of this. Here, let me zoom out so you can see this better. It looks like Bitcoin wants to hit the bottom of the point of control. It typically doesn't slow down between in this case, the 3/8 line to here. Like, this is not a common topping point. Now, on the way down, yes, it did a couple little oscillations here, but then in the end, it did come up exactly to the bottom of that point of control, exactly to the bottom of the point of control, wicked above the point of control, made a higher low, then went, which honestly, I think something like this might be about ready to happen. I think it could come up, make a higher low, and then try for the next target up is kind of, if I had to make one guess, it looks like that's about what's ready to happen. Although there are evidences that it could stop before, but y'all want me to make one single guess. And so I'll make a guess, but I'll try to also show you what to look out for. Again, I'm going to repeat myself. I'm also going to show you what to look out for in case my guess is incorrect, right? Okay. Therefore, I don't think the top of this trading channel is going to stop Bitcoin. I think it's going to go at minimum a little bit above. All right. And I would be targeting, in the mid 41 to 42K. Somewhere between there would be the first point at which you might have a turnaround, and then either make lower lows or a higher low. I'm not for sure, but I don't see it turning around right now for that reason. That's one specific reason. So now we're using 2 layers on top of each other. Again, we have the trading channels. We have the trading channels here plus the macro range on top. Therefore, I think the macro range will trump I think it will get the power over that trading channel, in my guess. Additionally, as I covered in my bloodbath video, like potential bloodbath or bounce video yesterday, I think was the thumbnail. It was a question mark, right? Because I clearly didn't know what was getting ready to happen. That was my analysis. I don't know, but here's what to look out for. I mentioned that before bear market really capitulates, that the monthly has a strong tendency to wick up to the monthly 10 EMA, which layered on the macro line. So see all this macro, so the macro stuff here, the macro range, right? The macro range, what is it lining up with? It's lining up with the top of the point of control. Therefore, if I had to make one specific guess of what's going to happen, is that, I mean, honestly, Bitcoin, my second guess would be it goes straight up to 44. But my first guess would be Bitcoin does something closer to 41 and a half, slows down, and then goes up and hits the monthly 10, maybe even wicks past it. It could pierce 45. It could, but I would guess more like 44. So my price path prediction, if I can zoom into this level, I'm going to zoom into this area here now. My price path prediction, which is only one guess out of 10 million things that Bitcoin can do, right? I think it's going to go past the trading channel, up to the point of control, maybe have 1 or 2 red days. I mean, it might only be on the 4-hour level. It might not have any red days, but make some type of turnaround, at least on the 4-hour chart, and then come up and test the monthly 10. I think something, and honestly, I think it could happen pretty dang quickly. And throughout this month, the monthly 10 should stay fairly level, because I'm on the 4-hour chart. It should stay right around that point of control. This is the price path that specifically I would guess, now that we've seen the aggressive move up, and you can see almost all of this happened on a 15-minute candle. Like, the aggression of this was one 15-minute candle. It just went kablam. Just straight up. I mean, there was no time to prepare. In this candle, on a lot of people, using charts with green dots, well, you didn't get a green dot before the move. The green dot appeared after the move happened, right? So, in retrospect, if you're watching channels out there using the green dot, yeah, it's good for general direction, but, you don't get green dot type of stuff right before the move happens. It's already halfway over type of deal. However, it is kind of indicating that the move could be a little bit more aggressive. And in terms of that green dot, my analysis with the macro, it would align that this could have a little bit more legs, even though it will be breaking my rule of a higher low on the daily RSI. I guess it did go below. I guess it did. So I guess it did squeak out a higher low just below that EMA. I guess it did. It actually did follow that rule. That's what I was looking for. Usually it's a little bit lower than that, but it did do it. I actually didn't know that. I thought it stayed above it, but it did do it. So I guess we could check mark that. That was the thing. This is what I've been looking for about a week now, right? Last 8 days, I was thinking, no, it can't just go straight up. You have to come down, at least like a 2-day correction, and then because you need the RSI to get below there before it can move up. And I guess that did happen. So this could really have some legs, folks. And that would be my specific price path prediction. Now, what are you going to look out for in case my one guess is incorrect? This is why I don't like making one guess, but like most of you viewers really want me to make one guess, okay? But I want to protect you from my guess, so you don't just like blindly follow it. That's why I don't like making one guess, because I don't want people just to like blindly lose money if my guess is wrong, because you're trading my guess specifically, right? So that I'm going to give you specific things to look out for in case my one single guess is incorrect. Before we do though, make sure you take this quick moment and give your content producer a little bit of love here with a like. Give me a like here. Just do it. Come on, I'm begging you. No, I'm not begging you. I'm forcing you. I'm going to reach to the screen and I'm going to grab your hand. I'm going to make you hit that like, or you get a flip off. Flip your phones or get flipped off. Hit that like button for me. Leave me a quick comment down below. Where do you think? Or go to my Twitter and answer the poll that I just put out. I asked folks, hey, how high will this go before a pullback? And my answer to this is, closer to 41.5, small pullback, then straight up to 44. But let me know in the comment section below what you think is going to happen out of this run. And in doing so, not only can we as a community, an online community, get other people's guesses and see what people's thinking, but it's going to help me out because it's going to help out the algo. If you're new to this channel, you like what you see so far, make sure you hit subscribe. And when you hit the bell, make sure you select all alerts because this is time-sensitive information. Even though time sensitivity, it was a 15-minute candle. There's not much you can do about it. This move happened like lickety split. It was really fast and there was really no prep for it. Let's dive into this charts and let's keep rocking and rolling so that you can determine what price will do if my one guess is wrong. Follow me on Twitter at @𝐾𝐢𝐬𝐜 with the number 2 afterward for frequent updates on Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. Turn on your camera and microphone and ask me questions directly in live up to 8 times a week on Discord. Links to the Discord community within the description section of all my videos. If online communities are not your thing, but you want exclusive content beyond and above what I offer for free on YouTube, click the join button below this video and another video will pop up describing your options to you. All right, now let's say Tim's guess is wrong. 𝐾𝐢𝐬𝐼𝐻𝑖𝐻 was wrong. His guess was wrong, right? And again, in yesterday's video, I didn't make a specific guess. I don't think I was super clear. I didn't just straight up say, I don't know what's going to happen, even though I probably should have, but I don't like to say that because I'm a content producer. But truly, I didn't know. And now on my VIP calls, though, and even my Cryptillion and Crackhead, so I had three calls in a row on Wednesday, I let people know I don't feel comfortable down here. I don't know what's going to happen. And I stress that very specifically, which is why my analysis from yesterday, it was simply showing, hey, stuff could really tank this month, but there's a chance for a bounce. And I didn't straight up come out and say, I don't know. But hopefully you interpreted that from my analysis yesterday because I didn't give a specific guess because truly I didn't freaking know. And I was mostly staying out of this market until some move happened. And I guess we're getting that move, right? I chose to sit out because I could not tell. All right. Now, if this is going to be wrong, the most likely thing that's going to happen is that the obvious happens. Is the take off the macro trading channel. The most likely case for me being wrong is that this trend line does hold up and it price comes shy of 41.4 or 41.3. It comes up shy because this does hold true. And in addition to that, sorry. And the monthly 10 never gets hit because the 4-hour, let's go to the 4-hour, the 4-hour 200 remains as resistance. That's what you, because honestly, it's gotten it pretty, I mean, look at this. It's gotten it pretty perfectly. So it could end up continuing with the trend and just head right back down. But here's the thing though, even if it does continue being at resistance, the times it hits it, it stays up there for over a day. Look at this. It stayed up there for 3 days. And this time here, it stayed up there for almost 4 days. Taking a fractal of those two, something like this could occur. Something like that, just barely wicks above, so that's one fractal. It could look like that and not go down until February 8th or February 7th or so. And then the other fractal right here, it could do something like that. One more little gasp of air at the end for one more bull trap and then head down. That could one of those two versions could happen, or a version like this could happen where it just falls off the face of the earth on a single candle. Boom. But that one came up just shy, but it got pretty close. Those are the three versions of price getting up close to or at least hitting this line. 2 of them stayed up there for 3+ days, and one just went wick and bam. However, I feel that there's way too much momentum for this version to happen. I don't think it's going to come straight up and straight down. However, that would be what I'm looking. That would be these two types of things. It stays up there for 3 days or it turns right around would be the shape that price takes if my guess is wrong. That's the most likely thing. Now, there's also another case where my guess is wrong because Bitcoin goes up even higher. And I covered that yesterday briefly at about minute 12, roughly within that video. And this run could have more legs than what I'm thinking, based off of previous price history dealing with this origin line and the daily 89. So let's take a look at this daily 89. It could go up a little higher. This would not be my primary guess though, but I mean, it's definitely in the cards. Let me put on origin lines. Let me take off the monthly 10, clean up this, clean up the chart a little bit. All right. I said, so in that video that I highlighted at the beginning, I said, okay, because this daily 89 is so far away, and this 89 is typically what squeezes price below the origin lines before a massive move down, which is why I mentioned that yesterday. I said February could be that month, but here's why it might not be, because historically, before price capitulates or really tanks below the master origin line, it wants to retest this line or get above it. There have been a couple times where it got above it. So let's try to take this line and, you know, do something like this, kind of draw out where it might go. Right, the daily 89. I mean, price could either come up to it. Let's do this. Price could either come up to it, and that takes you all the way, that takes you past the monthly 10. That's up at 44.5. So that's $500 past. That's a wick above the monthly 10, which is still kind of in line with what I was thinking, but it would go a little higher. But there have been a couple cases where price charges up, uses that support, gets another pump, right? I mean, that could take, you know, you could even test this previous high here up at 50,500 and then come back to either test the origin line down at 41 sometime in March. So this would be a bullish, this would be a potential setup for a bullish February if that were to happen. And this exact type of move has happened. And that's what I was warning about yesterday. Okay, well, I'm not so short right now because of the distance of this line from the origin line. I kind of have my doubts that it's going to tank right past it because, I mean, the move's been straight down anyway. But before it happens, I have a feeling that this needs to get closer or price needs to play on top of it, fake out, and then potentially either retest or make lower lows. And that's what I'd be looking for. So if price were to come up here, use it as support, I mean, you could easily get a run up to 50K. It could happen, this exact type of situation with the master origin line. So, you know, going back way in time, here's something to, like even before coronavirus, you know, the same origin line, the same purple line went above it, you know, a couple pumps, then went down. And it could happen just like that again. It really could, or something, some version to that effect. However, I would not make the guess that Bitcoin goes much above 50K, and that would be a bounce on top of the daily 89. That would be my most bullish scenario for the beginning of March. Is the first couple weeks of March. I would not expect Bitcoin to go above 50K. That would be the most bullish. I probably would not trade long into that. I'm going to probably wait. If I were long, I'd wait for a higher low and potentially wait for this origin line to be retested or a higher low somewhere up here. And then I would probably start entering spot trades at that position and maybe start being long at that time. I would probably wait for a higher low. I'm not going to race into a move up and be long with it off these lows. I would personally wait for a higher low if that were the case. However, remember from yesterday, all of that can all happen. 50K. And then the bear market band on the monthly then gets initiated, and then price dives down into it. So in that same video, I said, okay, because there's evidence of a bounce here, it might not be this month, the next month, or even April. It could be May that it capitulates down into it. And in my origin wave theory video that I can link you to at the end, that video is guessing a capitulation somewhere between May to July. And this would align with it. A pump up to 50K would align with that origin wave theory if that's going to be anywhere close to being true. That you won't get a plunge into this quicksand, which is the monthly 21 with the monthly 55, into which Bitcoin has always fallen 100% of times after it touches the top of the channel. Every single time it's fallen in there. But it might not happen until May, June, or July, and therefore this pump is given a better statistical edge that it's not going to happen very soon. Now that we've got this very aggressive move to the upside. Click this video if you want to watch a trading tutorial video on how to set up a chart just like mine. It's 28 minutes long. Click this video if you want to check out that origin wave theory of why capitulation might not happen until summertime. And if you're new, click the circle in the middle. You just got Timified Worldwide. Peace.